If you are an online business owner who is struggling to make money in your business, this episode today is for you. We are talking about how to prioritize your profits. My name is Jen Casey. I am a business strategy coach, and I work with online entrepreneurs in the health and wellness field who are ready to monetize their online business and turn their social media into sales. The first thing we need to take a look at when you're examining the big picture of your business is how are you currently executing your bigger business vision, your big business idea to prioritize profits. To give you an example, when I'm working with a lot of my clients, some of them will come to me and say, I really want to create a membership site with recipes. Now, when they're just getting started, and maybe you're in this place too, where you don't really have a big audience, you've only got maybe 100 or less people who are following you, and you want to create something that's a low ticket price, like a membership site, that really does require high volume and a lot of effort to keep it moving. So I've had a lot of clients who come to work with myself and with Angie, and they say, I am so burnt out right now because I have this membership site with recipes and I'm constantly having to add things. I'm constantly having to create new things to put in there, and I only have 3 people signed up. So I'm literally charging $10 a month and I'm making $30 to do a month's worth of work, and it just doesn't seem worth it. So this is a great example of really being able to say the way that this person has structured their business model, the way that this person has structured out their membership site, and what they have available to them in that moment, it doesn't really make sense to try to establish a volume business or a model or some kind of product, service, or program that requires a lot of volume when they have such a small audience. So something like that, this person might be working 60 plus hours a week to make all of this content and to make it happen. But when you actually look at the profits, it's really pretty small. I know for a lot of the girls we work with in network marketing, this happens as well because they're not acknowledging that the business model that they are in truly does require, in order to make substantial income, in order to make that residual income, it requires building a team. And a lot of those people are like, well, I don't really like coaching people in the business. I just want to teach people how to get healthier. I don't really like talking about that. So in that case, they're spending all of their time and energy and effort on just selling product and getting commissions, and then they're scratching their head wondering why they're not actually making money. They're like, I've been doing this for 3 years and my income hasn't moved. And I'm just like, well, look at the business model you're in. Look at what you are either in or what you have built, and that will be very telling around how you can really take a step back and say, okay, how can I become more profitable? Now, whether you're in network marketing or you have your own business, it's important to step back and say, okay, if I've got literally no audience, if I've got maybe less than 100 people on my email list, and I really want to make $10,000 this month or $5,000, what are some things that I can put together in order to reach that goal? Well, like I said, creating a membership site and being like Planet Fitness where they charge $10 a month and get this insane volume of people who sign up, maybe you're not in that place. Maybe you're in a better place to do high ticket sales and do some nice one-on-one coaching for maybe $1,000 if you are in that place where you have the expertise to actually deliver that. I don't want you guys slapping a price tag on your work that you don't really feel energetically ready to put out there, or a price tag that you don't feel you've actually developed the expertise to deliver. So obviously, always have a lot of integrity when putting these things together. And if you're not sure, reach out and get some coaching around this specifically so that you can get some clarity on how you can make more money in your business. So that's number one. How can you execute your business model and your bigger business idea in a better way and strategize it so that you can prioritize profit? So really take a look at what you're offering and figure out if you can add a few things that will add additional income, or take a look at the things that you can kind of kick to the curb and get rid of that aren't making you income. And this right here is going to be a recurring theme through all the 5 points, but anytime you're looking at your to-do list or you're looking at the things that you have in your business offerings or the energy and effort that you're putting into your business, it's that 80-20 rule, right? You take a look at everything that's there and the majority of the time, 80% of your effort is creating 20% of, or let's say you have 6 different products, well, 20% of that is actually generating 80% of the income. So take a look at what you've got going on right now in your offerings and really go all in on it. This another quick example, if you are in a network marketing company that offers, there's some companies that offer like 400 products. Don't try to sell everything. Find the things that you feel most passionate about, the things that are maybe the highest income generators, the most valuable products, and really focus on selling only those things. And then once the person is already working with you, of course, they can see what else you guys have in your store, but realize that the majority of your profits is probably going to come from 20% of whatever the company has in their arsenal that you can use to sell. Okay, so the second thing is when you are mapping out your business plan, when you're looking at how to prioritize your profits, you need to ask, is this thing, this product, program, or service, something that the market needs? Because we have to realize the market, that's everything. Gurus can tell you things, they can say this is the best product, this is what's going to work, but once you put it out in the market, if it bombs, that's how you know. Because as Gary Vaynerchuk says, the market is the market is the market. The market does not lie. It is the great equalizer in many ways because your thing either works and solves a problem or it's not clear enough and people don't buy it. Without customers, you don't have a business. Without customers, you don't have money coming in. Without money coming in and some kind of exchange of dollar bills, you don't have a business. Customers are the bedrock of your business. So if you're not creating things that people actually want to buy, that's why you're not making the profits that you were hoping to. Now, I'm not saying that what you have and what you've created, I'm not saying that it's not valuable, because it's probably really valuable. But we have to recognize that sometimes your people that you're trying to market to, they don't know what they don't know. A big hiccup that a lot of the women we coach, a big thing they tend to run into is that they're like, well, I'm a health coach, but I help people with confidence and mindset and finding their inner badass. So that's what I want to lead with. But really, they're helping new moms get their baby body back. That is the tangible thing that people are looking for. That is what your clients are typing into Google and YouTube. That is the program they're willing to whip out their wallet and pay for. That is the program where they know exactly what they're going to get. In the end, they're going to get their body back, right? But if it's an inner badass program, they don't know what that means. Now, you may have gone through that process yourself and said, well, I got my body back, but the real transformation was when I started doing personal development and goal setting and some self-love work. And that's all great. But I bet that you wouldn't have signed up for that experience had whoever you signed up with led with all of the more intangible woo-woo stuff. It doesn't sell as well as something that is a little bit more tangible because it's what the market is actually looking for. You cannot sell something to someone if they don't realize yet that they need it. So a lot of people don't know that they need personal development. So if they don't know they need personal development, why would they buy it? They're not going to buy a tape around that. So it's really important to say, okay, who am I trying to market to? Do they want what I'm selling? And then researching the heck out of what you're putting together and testing the market. Research is one of the most essential things when building a business, if not the most important thing. And I say the most important thing because 9 times out of 10 people want to skip it and they create the thing that they feel passionate about. They want to create the thing that, oh, but this would light me on fire. Well, that's fine and dandy if it lights you on fire, but if no one's buying it, then you're dead in the water. I was listening to an awesome podcast with Jill Stanton from Screw the 9 to 5, and she told a phenomenal story of her kind of rock bottom moment where her and her husband had created a program about how to make money as a guest blogger, because they were like, well, that's how we did it. They created this whole program, spent thousands and thousands of dollars over a couple of months putting this all together, and she said they opened the cart, they were in Bali, they woke up the next morning, and not a single person bought the program. And the cart was open for 2 weeks or so, and they did not make a single sale. And she said the real oh shit moment was the morning that they woke up, because she goes, I realized that morning that we never asked people if they wanted it. They never asked people if they wanted to learn how to guest blog. That's the research side. If they had done that research and asked that question to their audience, which they already had an audience at that time, maybe not a huge audience as big as they have now, but they had an audience. And even if you don't have an audience, you can do research. There's a lot of people out there in the world who are willing to give you feedback, and a lot of people who already have their thoughts and opinions out there. And you can go into Facebook groups, research on your specific topic. You can go to Amazon and look at related books and the things that people wrote about what they did and did not like. The information and the analytics, it's out there. You just have to be a researcher and go and find it so that you don't get in that place like Jill Stanton, where they launched out a program and had 0 sales because no one actually wanted it. Now, of course, that was a huge learning moment for them, and now they have this massive $1 million business. So they're doing okay, but I want you to realize that that's such an essential piece, so do not skip the research piece. Super important. Test it before you are launching it. And one quick little nugget for you, if you are coming up with a new course, maybe you're taking a little tip from what we just talked about in number 1 of how can I prioritize profits, and you're thinking, all right, I'm going to create this ebook and I'm going to charge $29.99 and it's going to be the clean eating ebook. If that's your title, I want you to come up with 3 other ones. Please try to come up with something a little bit juicier, a little bit more directed around a pain point, and literally post on Facebook and say, of these 3, which would you be most likely to invest in, or which would you be most interested in testing? And just from that alone, ABC, make it real easy for people, you're going to get feedback about what people do and do not want. And if it's crickets, that could be a good indication that people want to do none of them. And then maybe you take a step back and revisit what you're working on. And it's okay to have something that bombs, because man, oh man, do you learn from the bombs. You learn from them. And then you tweak what you need to tweak. Don't scrap the whole idea. It could be something so simple as just changing the title a little bit and not even changing the content of your program or your ebook or your service. So that is number 2. Making sure that what you are putting out there, either right now or in the future, is something that the market actually wants, that your ideal clients actually are asking for. What are they asking for? What is the language that they are using? Number 3 is, what are your money-making activities? Do you have a clear picture of what your strategy is? Do you know what your daily tasks need to be? And I ask this because a lot of people are trying to do it all. They don't really have a clear strategy behind posting on social media, or behind creating a new program, or behind the content that they are filming, or the things that they're writing out. And they're getting bogged down by trying to do everything instead of having a clear strategy to, okay, we want to get here. We want to launch a 12-week program in 3 months. So once you have that clear end thing that you want for this season of your business, it's about reverse engineering it, breaking it down, asking yourself and the people on your team and in your community who, maybe you have a coach, maybe you have assistants, what are the things that you need to do in your business right now and over the next 3 months in order to have a really amazing, seamless launch for that 12-week program. So you've got to break it down. And I want you to realize as well that there's no one strategy to get to there. There's no one strategy. I am very good friends with many other entrepreneurs and influencers who are extremely successful, many who are doing 6-figure launches just like Angie and I. Many of them will say, you have to. They will swear by it. They'll be, you have to use Facebook ads. You have to use Facebook ads. You've got to have a funnel set up so that when people opt into your ad, they're sent to a landing page. They give you their email. Then they are sent over to a thank you page where they're given an upsell, where you have them on this email automation sequence where they get all of these emails. And then you invite them into your program, and that's how you have this multiple 6-figure launch. Whereas Angie and I, We do it in a very different way. It's a very organic strategy. We have an incredible organic audience that we've built with very few Facebook ads. We run almost no Facebook ads, actually, even though we know how to do them. We just don't really 100% need to. It just depends on what we're doing in our business at that moment. And we have an incredible Facebook group. So we probably get 95% of the people who join our program from our Facebook group. We get in there every day, we're sharing live video, we're answering questions, we're showing up. And we've been able to just literally take live video and Facebook groups, and of course a little bit on Instagram, a little bit of YouTube here and there, but pretty much mostly from our Facebook pages, the Facebook group, and a little bit of Instagram, and turn that into a $250,000 launch for this last class of WBA for June. And we've had multiple six-figure launches with the exact same strategy. So realize that there's no one right way to build a business. You've got to find the thing that not only plays to your strengths. So if you're not techie, you don't need to get bogged down by funnels. If you're amazing at content creation and putting yourself out there and getting on live video, then lead more with that. There's so many different strategies. There's so many little different tweaks that you can make so that this can work for you. But if you try to do them all, you will probably get very stressed out if you try to do them all by yourself. Now, if you're in a place right now where you're already at the six-figure plus mark and you've got a team and your team is really savvy and they know exactly what to do and you've got a whole plan and you've got multiple things working for you, you've got some Facebook ads here, you've got challenges going, you've got your Facebook group, and that's working, then keep doing it. That in itself is a whole other strategy, right? Of doing all these multiple things. So, in order to actually identify your money-making activities each and every day, you have to first know what you're selling, know when you want to launch it, and know what things need to get done in order for that to be executed. What are the things you need to make happen? What are the things you need to implement? What are the things you need to create? And that way, each and every day, you'll have a clear picture of your money-making activities because it's all part of a bigger plan. For those of you who are in a business right now where you're just kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and you're like, I hope some of this sticks. I don't know, I'm just like endlessly posting on social media, not really sure what's going on. Yeah, I can understand why you're feeling stressed out, feeling like you're working like 60 to 80 hours a week and you're not actually making any profits in your business. So we've really got to hone it in. Number 4 is, what can you remove off of your plate right now so that you can go from busy to productive? Busy and productive are very different things. For example, you could probably spend 80 hours this week going on Instagram, liking people's pictures, reaching out to people, and building relationships. And that might be a really effective thing for where you're at in your business. But I want you to realize that you can outsource something like that to either an agency or an assistant so that your time is freed up to get on live video or to get on coaching calls or do other things on that list of here's my reverse engineer strategy to get to this end goal so that you can start chunking away at some of those other things that only you are able to do. With my own business, with the business of Wellpreneur Business Academy that I run with Angie, there are things during launch, on season and off season, that only I can do or things that only Angie can do. Live video, that's one of those things. It's either us or it's not happening. So we have to take certain things off of our plate. Like our assistant will answer emails for us. We have somebody who's helping us with our Instagram. We have somebody who's doing this or that or editing podcasts. Because if we are spending 80 hours a week doing all of that on top of being the creative energy and getting on live video, we burn out. We burn out real fast. And then we have to actually be present for the people that we're coaching and be answering questions. And we have 130 plus people in this current June class. So it's a lot of energy to be really invested in each and every person's business and to really honor each person and give them thoughtful feedback. So if we are trying to do it all by ourselves, you burn out. You really do. And I thought early on in my business, like, well, I'm different. I'm like Superwoman over here. I can hustle harder than everybody else. I got this. And yeah, I was able to, I guess, but I had no life. It was exhausting. I was afraid to take days off. I was resistant to go out to date nights with my boyfriend. I was resistant to go take vacations because I had created a business where if I stepped away, nothing would happen. And that's not the freedom that I think you probably want for yourself. Am I right? Yeah, and doing all of those little things, even if they're easy, even if it takes you 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, oh, I just have to upload this picture to Instagram, oh, I just have to respond to this email, oh, it takes me 2 seconds. It takes me 2 seconds to upload this podcast. It all takes a couple of minutes, but at the end of the day, your brain is like twitching. You've got like an eye twitch and I don't know, you feel fried. You feel like you've been electrocuted because you've been trying to juggle a million things throughout the day. And truth be told, every single time that you need to make a decision, you need to tap into your storage of glucose. And your brain gets fatigued. It gets fatigued every time you need to make a decision. I don't know if you guys have ever seen some big CEOs and stuff. They will wear the same outfit every single day. Every single day, they'll be like, nope, I just wear a white shirt and black pants. That's what I wear every day. I've created a uniform for myself because it's one less decision that I need to make in the morning. So I'm not fatiguing my energy and my brain from that decision-making process. So this is for real. So every time you take one of those little things off of your plate and hand it off to somebody else who you trust, it allows you to be more creative. I don't care if you are brand spanking new in your business. I don't care if you're 3 months in. I waited way too long to start doing this, and you'll hear this from probably anyone in the online space who's started to outsource stuff. It's really important. So really say, am I being busy or am I being productive? If it's something that you can hire someone to do, there are a lot of great agencies, for example, that will build your Instagram for you. They will follow people for you. They will reach out to other influencers. They will comment on people's posts, and you can go in and do it and comment and interact and engage as well, and be on Instagram stories to show your face and be posting the pictures yourself, but they'll only charge around $100 a month. Well, if they're doing that for you every single day and you're growing your account by thousands and thousands of followers every month, oh my God, that frees up so much of your time. If you're spending even a half hour a day doing Facebook or Instagram double taps all day long and you're engaging with people and you're trying to really grow that right now and that's your main focus, oh my gosh, a half hour a day that you can just you get that back, you're going to have so much more creative energy instead of going like this all day long. I mean, doesn't your finger hurt after a while? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So outsourcing, really important. Get things off of your plate so that you can go and make the real money. Got to prioritize profits. And number 5 is when you are approaching social media, probably the biggest, I say this a lot, like this is the biggest thing, right? But this is one of the biggest things that many entrepreneurs or online business owners, they post on social media maybe a couple times a day, or they're engaged on social media, but they're not posting with a purpose. You have got to post with a purpose. And this kind of ties back into what we were just talking about before with having a bigger picture strategy. Why are you posting what you are posting today? You may be in a place where maybe you haven't started to frame out seasons in your business where you're like, okay, from January to March, we're going to be focusing on this launch for this program. And then over the summer, we're shifting to the bikini bottom boot camp or something, right? And so then your content may shift a little bit and your strategy in what you are putting out there may change a bit. And that's totally cool. That's totally normal. But you've got to know what your strategy is so that you're not just throwing stuff out there. And we were talking about this the other night on the Wellpreneur Business Academy call. We were diving into the power of story and how important story is when you are growing a personal brand and when you are trying to connect with your audience. So, so important. But as these ladies were crafting their story, I was like, okay, well, why would you share that specific story? What relevance does that story have to the product that you're trying to put out there right now, or how does it solidify your personal brand? So I may tell a story about how I'm a little kid. When I was a little kid, I was really amazing at memory game, and I used to beat my grandparents and my brother every single time because I had this crazy strategy of counting the memory game cards and memorizing things, and I had this whole thing going on in my head at like 4, 5, 6 years old. Natural strategist, right? So maybe I'm going to tell that story and weave it into some post because I want to remind my audience or solidify with my audience that I'm insanely detail oriented. And if you're somebody who's a big squirrel brain creator, I'm your girl because I can squirrel tame and I can organize things and I can see the details and the strategy behind how we're going to execute things because that's always been my innate strength since I was a kid. So right there, that story is going to support my personal brand and my expertise. Now, that story might not have a specific purpose in some kind of bigger launch strategy, but it might just be a fun story, like I said, to support my brand. So really know the content that you're creating and the stories that you're telling. Why? Why are you sharing this? Where is it sending people? What kind of an energy or what information and what message are you putting out in the world? What do you want people to walk away with after watching your video or reading your post? How does the content that you're putting out this week or today, how does it tie into the bigger picture of what you are launching right now? How does it relate? Does it have anything to do with a program, product, service that you are currently selling? If not, it's time to take a step back and say, okay, how does this fit into the bigger picture? Does that make sense? I hope so. So just to give you a quick recap, number one is how can we execute this business plan, this business idea, so that we can prioritize profits? Number two is really asking yourself, is this something that the market needs? Because without customers, you don't have income. So research is absolutely essential in creating a profitable business. Number three is really figuring out what are your money-making activities and reverse engineering your big business vision so that you know exactly what things to do every single day so that it makes sense and that it's part of a bigger picture strategy that you are executing in your business right now. Number four is the difference between busy and productive. Which one are you right now and how can you remove some things off of your plate? And number five is being sure that you are posting on social media with a purpose. If you want some additional social media strategy, head to socialmedia2sales.com. Again, socialmedia2sales.com, and you can grab a free social media strategy training. I walk you through how to blueprint out your content in a really simple, efficient way. In literally, it's a 10-minute video, and you guys will have content for the next month, all your topics bulleted out. And I also walk through how to repurpose your content across social media platforms so that you're saving time and you're not stuck glued to your phone. Again, that's socialmedia2sales.com. Head over there, check it out, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Talk to you soon.